My boyfriend's junior posted a high-profile announcement on Instagram. Thanks to my senior, Nicholas, for helping me get my license. On to the next stage of life. I calmly scrolled past it, then broke up with him. My boyfriend frowned. It's just a driver's license, not a marriage license. Do you have to make such a big deal out of it? I know you're upset you didn't pass this time. I'll help you practice. Okay. I didn't say much, just turned and left. What Nicholas didn't know is this. During the time he was flirting with his junior, I had already applied for an exchange student program in Hong Kong. From now on, he could enjoy his freedom to make friends, and I would run toward my own bright future. The past was smoke. We would never meet again. When Olivia posted that license successful status, Nicholas had his arm around my waist, playing games with friends in a private room. His buddies teased him. Nicholas, I'd say that junior, Olivia, has a thing for you. That post is so suggestive. Nicholas took a sip of his red wine, a half-smile on his face. Don't talk nonsense. Your real sister-in-law is right here. He casually slung his arm around my shoulder. A wave of nausea rose in my stomach. I pushed his hand away and was about to pick up a glass of wine to wet my throat when he snatched it away. You'll get a stomachache again if you drink this. You can't. The noisy environment of the room was suffocating. I excused myself to go to the restroom. Just then, my phone buzzed with a notification. I opened it. It was a message from my professor. Eleanor, you submitted an application for the exchange program at the University of Hong Kong. The list of names is out. As long as you get the required credits, you can transfer at the end of this semester. Before this, I had been wavering between going to Hong Kong and staying in the capital to be with Nicholas. But in that moment, faced with his ambiguous attitude toward other women, my resolve hardened. Okay, professor. I'll get the credits and prepare for the exchange. When I pushed open the door to the private room again, ready to confront Nicholas, Olivia had somehow been invited. She sat next to him, looking shy and reserved, but her knees were pressed tightly against his leg. I walked over and met his beautiful eyes. Nicholas, let's break up. After I said those words, the atmosphere in the room instantly froze. He looked bored, leaning lazily against the sofa. Just because I went to get a driver's license with Olivia and didn't take you, is it that serious? Besides, the post was just for fun. It's a driver's license, not a marriage license. What's there to be angry about? Seeing my cold expression, Olivia clung to his arm and added, That's right, senior. You've really misunderstood Nicholas and me. I'm not very smart, and my family isn't well off. I've never even driven a car before, so of course, I'm not as good as you. Nicholas was just being kind and helping me. I couldn't be bothered with her words and just repeated my point. Nicholas, I said I want to break up. He sneered. You won't regret it. I won't. With that, I picked up my bag and left. In the room after I left, Nicholas ran a hand through his hair in frustration and pushed Olivia away. Someone asked him, Nicholas, I think Eleanor is really angry this time. Aren't you going to go after her and coax her? His eyes were fixed on the direction I had left, but he was still stubborn. I never intended for anything to happen with Olivia. What's she so angry about? Just watch. In less than 3 days, she'll come crying back to me. Since the school hadn't announced the exchange program yet, I only told my mom, while helping me plan. She said, Ellie, do you remember my best friend, Mrs. Kane's son? He's been working in Hong Kong for years. If you go, he can look out for you. A vague, boyish face appeared in my mind. I nodded. Thanks, Mom. It was 7 in the evening by the time I finished dinner. I had just opened my phone when I saw Olivia's Instagram post. Happiness is evening, after dinner, with my senior, in a sports car, going for a drive. The picture showed her in the passenger seat of a cool pink sports car. In the top left corner, a sliver of a man's wrist was visible, adorned with a Rolex Submariner. It was a matching one I had given Nicholas for his 18th birthday. About 6 months ago, Nicholas had a sudden whim to drive around the world. To see the northern lights in Iceland. To see the snow in Tokyo. He asked me, Ellie, what color, what brand of sports car would make you willing to roam the world with me? Our relationship hadn't soured then. I pinched his nose and joked, pink, starlight roof, Panamera. To my surprise, the next day, Nicholas pulled some strings and had a limited edition pink sports car delivered for me. He said that after we got our licenses, he would personally take me for a drive. In the following days, to make this dream a reality, he dragged me to a driving school near our university. Everything was going well until a certain junior showed up, under the guise of a trial lesson. After driving into the bushes for the 8th time because she couldn't distinguish between the gas and the brake, the instructor pulled her aside. "Miss, if you're serious about learning to drive, please pay the tuition first. Otherwise, you will be held fully responsible for the damage to the car." This junior was Olivia. She sniffled, her eyes instantly turning red. "I'm sorry, instructor. I was just trying it out. I didn't mean to drive into the bushes. My family is poor, and am a student on financial aid. I can't afford the tuition or the damages right now." The other VIP students laughed. "She hasn't paid and she's been hogging the car. I've never seen such a shameless freeloader." "Exactly. If you don't have money, go to the regular class next door. Why are you wasting our time in the VIP class?" Faced with the ridicule, the tears finally fell from Olivia's eyes. Just then, Nicholas stepped forward and shielded her. "I'll pay for her, and I'll cover the damages to the car." The VIP driving school tuition was not cheap, costing $50,000 for the whole course. I grabbed his hand as he was about to pay, trying to get him to calm down. "If she doesn't have money, she can go to the regular driving school. What are you trying to prove?" That was the first time he ever got angry with me. "Eleanor, I never realized you were so unsympathetic. She's a student on financial aid, and it's her first time driving. She got into an accident, was berated by the instructor in public, and ridiculed by the other students. She's been through enough. Besides, she just wants a better learning environment, just like us. Is that so wrong?" I found it laughable and flung his hand away. "There's nothing wrong with wanting a better environment, but you have to work for it, not act like a pitiful puppy, begging for sympathy." "Eleanor, you're being unreasonable." With that, he went ahead and paid for her class right in front of me. From that day on, she never left our world. "Senior, is it clutch first or gear first?" "Senior, what if I get nervous during the test?" "Nicholas, Eleanor is so smart. The instructor only has to say it once and she gets it. Not like me. I can only rely on you to teach me." And just like that, the time he spent with me dwindled. Became Olivia's private instructor. He even missed my birthday party to get his license on the same day as her. My thoughts returned to the present. Even the car he had promised me was now occupied by someone else. Tears blurred my vision. Without a second thought, I blocked him. As I was getting ready for bed after a hot shower, my phone buzzed with a friend request. "Hello, I'm Julian Kane." If I wasn't mistaken, this was my mom's friend's son. Out of politeness, I replied simply, "Hello, I'm Eleanor." I clicked on his profile picture. It was a cool-toned photo of a rainy night. His Instagram was starkly empty. The only pinned post had a single sentence: "From the moment the umbrella tilted, my life would never again have a dark and rainy night. Looks like he has a girlfriend. I shouldn't bother him when I get to Hong Kong." With that thought, I turned off my phone and fell into a deep sleep. I didn't sleep well that night. My dreams were filled with Nicholas' irritating face. In the morning, his mother called me. "Ellie, Nicholas didn't come home last night. Did he take you out carousing again? You have to watch him for me. Don't let him get into trouble." I was taken aback and told her the truth. "Mrs. Vance, I was at home sleeping last night. I wasn't with him. As for where he went, you'll have to ask him yourself." Only then did she realize her mistake and quickly tried to smooth things over. "Oh, silly me. Nicholas said he was going to a friend's house to watch a game last night. I just remembered." I smiled politely, not exposing the elder's lie, and ended the call after a brief exchange. As I was about to go back to sleep, I was woken by a car horn from downstairs. I looked out the window. Nicholas, who had been missing all night, was leaning against the hood of his car, wearing sunglasses and waving at me. I found it laughable. He spent the entire night with Olivia in his new car, and now he remembers me. I pretended not to see him and closed the window, but he was persistent and, as usual, barged into my bedroom. "Ellie, watch me do a magic trick." He clenched his fist and, in the blink of an eye, opened it to reveal the car keys in his palm. He had even tied a pink bow around them to please me. "Well, do you like it?" Seeing his expectant look, I sneered. If I remember correctly, we've already broken up. Secondly, after a whole night out with someone else in that car. Nicholas, what makes you think Eleanor, would want someone else's leftovers, be it a car or a person? Hearing my words, he frowned slightly. Ellie, why are you talking like that now? Last night, Olivia said she had never been in a sports car, so she wanted me to take her for a drive. Then she got too excited and drank too much. The school gates were closed, and I was worried about her being out alone. So I got 2 rooms at a hotel. But I can swear, nothing happened between us last night. Having been his childhood sweetheart for 20 years, I knew he wasn't the type to be reckless. But his words made me feel sick. The next second, to make him give up, I snatched the keys and threw them at the windshield of the sports car parked downstairs. Nicholas, how many times do I have to say it for you to believe that we are really over? With a thud, the brand new windshield was instantly covered in a web of cracks, just like my decades-long relationship with him. Completely shattered. Eleanor, are you crazy? Do you have any idea how much effort I put into getting you this car? He ran a hand through his hair in frustration and slammed the door as he left. Since our last confrontation, Nicholas hadn't come looking for me. I was happy for the peace and quiet and threw myself into my studies and competitions. My professor told me that several universities were jointly holding a creative competition. If I could place, I could get the exchange student spot early. So I diligently gathered information, consulted with upperclassmen, and spent over a dozen nights preparing my presentation materials. After reviewing it, my experienced professor praised me. Eleanor, if all goes well, the gold prize is yours this time. I smiled modestly, confident of my victory. But on the day of the competition, I saw Olivia's name on the list of participants. She was only a freshman and shouldn't have been eligible. She noticed me too and walked over through the crowd. Senior, you're competing too. It's such an honor to be your opponent. But Nicholas personally helped me revise my report. He said winning a gold prize would be no problem. Seeing my calm and unfazed expression, Olivia took a step closer and whispered in my ear, her voice drawn out. Eleanor, to be honest, I'm determined to win both the gold prize and Nicholas. Faced with such blatant provocation, I shoved her shoulder, picking up my chewed-up gum and chewing it again. What? Do you just love eating someone else's leftovers? Don't bite off more than you can chew. Olivia, you might end up choking yourself. You. Olivia's face turned red with anger, her nostrils flaring. I couldn't be bothered with her anymore and went straight to the stage. During the half-hour presentation, I was completely focused, expending all my energy. But seeing the smile on my professor's face in the audience, I knew I had it in the bag. After the competition, it was finally time for the exciting award announcement. I sat in the audience, my palms sweating with nervousness, my heart nearly pounding out of my chest. And now, let's congratulate the gold prize winner of this creative competition, Olivia. As the deafening announcement rang out, I felt as if I had been plunged into an icy cellar. How could this be? I ran backstage, where my professor informed me with some regret. Eleanor, the gold prize was originally yours, but the Vance Group is the main sponsor of this competition. They sent word that the gold prize should be given to Olivia. I understood everything in an instant. I grabbed my bag and was about to go confront Nicholas when I ran into him at the door, holding a bouquet of flowers. Seeing me, he was both happy and surprised. Ellie, what are you doing here? I cut to the chase. Nicholas, what right do you have to trample on someone else's hard work and rig the gold prize, which was rightfully mine, for Olivia? He was smart and immediately understood. I'm sorry, Ellie. I didn't know you were competing too, but precisely because I'm your boyfriend, I had to give the gold prize to Olivia. But there's only one gold prize. You gave it to her through back channels, which means I don't get it. Hearing my angry shouts, Nicholas pinched the bridge of his nose in frustration, as if I were a huge nuisance. Eleanor, you already have so much. You don't need this gold prize. But Olivia is different from you. Her family is poor, and she has no connections. She needs this award more than you do. Besides, if she loses, she has nothing. But if you lose, you still have me. Tears instantly welled up in my eyes. I backed away, avoiding his attempt to embrace me. Nicholas, you truly disgust me. After I left, Nicholas didn't follow. He waited at the door and gave the sunflowers to the now famous Olivia. Since I didn't win the gold prize in the creative competition, I had to participate in other contests to build my resume. It wasn't until the final exams that I finally secured the exchange student spot. As I let out a sigh of relief, I also went to cancel my enrollment at the driving school. Just as I was heading there, a torrential downpour began. Seeing no shelter around, I was about to run back with my bag over my head when a familiar pink sports car screeched to a halt in front of me. It was Nicholas. The window rolled down, revealing Olivia's smug face first. "Senior, going to take your driving test in such heavy rain." Nicholas seemed to have forgotten our last unpleasant encounter and shouted at me, "Get in the car. Don't make me bring you medicine if you catch a cold." Before Olivia appeared, Nicholas had been almost completely at my beck and call. Fever medicine at 2 in the morning. Breakfast every day for 3 years of high school. Carrying me on his back in the rain to keep my shoes from getting wet. These once beautiful memories had cast a golden halo around him in my mind. It was only at this moment that I finally realized. Love flows. It is not constant. Seeing my inaction, Nicholas thought I was still sulking. "Ellie, can you stop this? When the weather clears up, I'll help you practice." "Okay, if that's not enough, wherever you want to go, I'll drive you." Olivia chimed in. "That's right, senior. Look how clumsy I am. And Nicholas still taught me. I'll have him personally teach you. You'll definitely pass." Listening to their duet, I suddenly felt completely drained. "No need, Nicholas. In Hong Kong, they drive on the right. You don't need to worry about my driver's license anymore." As if hearing a ridiculous joke, he laughed. "Eleanor, there's a rumor you're going to study in Hong Kong. It's not true, is it?" I nodded. "Is there a problem? You've never left my side your whole life. You even let yourself be placed in a less desirable major just to be with me at the same university. I don't believe you can really go to Hong Kong alone." Even at this point, Nicholas still thought I was just throwing a tantrum. I ignored him and ran into the pouring rain. The date for my departure to Hong Kong was set. When the weather cleared, I had my driver take me to Nicholas' house for a final farewell. Our families were close, and since we were the same age and had always been good friends, I often stayed over when we played too late. So his mother had a dedicated bedroom for me at their house. Because of my constant cold wars with him lately, I hadn't been there in a long time. When I pushed open the door, the room was still clean and tidy, a testament to daily housekeeping. After a careful inventory, I packed all my belongings and had the driver take them back to my house. When I was done, there was one box left in the corner. It was filled with all the gifts Nicholas had given me over the years: a pink diamond ring, limited edition handbags, and the handwritten apology notes he gave me when we fought. I didn't take a single thing that was related to him. Just then, I felt a soft brush against my leg. Looking down, it was Mittens, the stray cat we had found downstairs 3 years ago. Since my mom was allergic to cat hair, we had kept her at Nicholas' house. The little thing seemed to sense I was leaving. She meowed incessantly, rubbing her head against my leg. I couldn't bear to leave her. I put her in a carrier, intending to take her to Hong Kong later. As I was about to get in the car with the carrier, Nicholas' mom came out, having heard the commotion. "Ellie, you haven't been over to play in a long time. Are you and Nicholas fighting?" I held down Mittens' little head as she looked around and smiled at her. "Mrs. Vance, Nicholas and I have broken up. Barring any accidents, I probably won't be staying over anymore. To avoid any misunderstandings with his new girlfriend, I've packed up all my things from your house. When Nicholas gets home, please let him know." With that, I left. After I left, she immediately called him. "Nicholas, Ellie said she broke up with you and took all her things from the house. What's going on?" Nicholas, who was drinking at a bar, felt his heart skip a beat. He sat up straight and told his friends to turn off the music. "What about the gifts I gave her over the years? Did she take those?" "She didn't take a single one." His knuckles turned white as he gripped his glass, but he pretended to be calm. "What about Mittens? Did she leave her too?" His mom thought for a moment. "No. Ellie took Mittens with her." Only then did the knot in his chest loosen. I knew she couldn't bear to leave me. After hanging up, a friend asked him, "Nicholas, Eleanor hasn't come to you once lately. Has she really lost interest?" "What do you guys know? This is called wife management. You understand. She's throwing such a huge tantrum this time. I'm not going to coax her." This is the perfect opportunity to teach her a lesson, to tame her a little. Otherwise, if we really get married, she'll be trying to control me all the time. His friends hooped and cheered, calling him a master. On the first day of the holidays, I boarded a flight to Hong Kong. It was 8 in the evening when I landed. I looked at my 4 or 5 large suitcases and was at a loss. Just as I was worrying, a strong hand gripped the handle of my luggage from behind. I turned to see a strikingly handsome but somewhat familiar face. Seeing the confusion in my eyes, he introduced himself like a gentleman. "I'm Julian Kane, the one you were in contact with before. I didn't have anything important today, so I thought I'd come and pick you up. But we've never met. How did you recognize me in the crowd?" He didn't answer but changed the subject. "Didn't we agree that I would pick you up? Why didn't you contact me?" I blushed with a little guilt. "You have a girlfriend, don't you?" I thought it would be inconvenient, so I didn't say anything. He stopped and repeated my words, savoring them. "A girlfriend? Are you referring to yourself?" The simple joke not only broke the awkward silence, but also announced his single status. My psychological burden lifted, and I followed him to a Maybach parked on the curb. The black car sped across the bridge. Watching the fleeting shadows outside the window, I had a sudden thought. Am I being sold? After all, my knowledge of Julian Kane was limited to his name. Just then, a message from my mom popped up on my phone. "Well, isn't Julian a nice young man? Out with the old, in with the new. In my experience, he's much better than that Vance boy. But I forgot to send him your photo. I wonder if he found you." I was suddenly stunned. If he didn't have a photo, how did he recognize me? Before I knew it, the car had stopped in front of a villa on Victoria Peak. He carefully opened the door for me, shielding the top of the car with his hand to prevent me from bumping my head. Inside, the villa had a cool, empty feel. I asked, "Where are Mr. and Mrs. Kane?" "They're not here. My parents are traveling abroad and won't be back for a while. They specifically asked me to take care of you before they left. But I haven't had a chance to tidy up the house yet. You'll have to make do for now. I'll take you shopping tomorrow." I nodded, prepared to rough it for a night. But when I pushed open the bedroom door, I was astonished. This is what he called not tidied up. The spacious bedroom had everything: fresh bedding, pajamas, and skincare products. There was even a whole cabinet filled with cat litter, cat food, and bowls for mittens. I slept soundly and contentedly, until the next day, when Nicholas called. "My little ancestor, come downstairs. Bring mittens. Let's go on a road trip for the holidays." The expired promise no longer held any appeal for me. "And not home. You'll have to find someone else for your road trip." "Then where are you?" "Hong Kong." There was a moment of silence on the other end. Then, "Ellie, can you stop this? You and Mittens can't live without me." "You're wrong, Nicholas. This world is a big place. Anyone can live without anyone." Seeing that I was no longer seeking reconciliation as I used to, he sneered. "Honestly, Eleanor, sometimes you really can't compare to Olivia. At least she's not as dramatic as you." With that, Nicholas hung up. About 2 weeks later, I saw his Instagram post. "The sea you missed. I'll see for you. The vows you broke, someone else will erase." The 9 photos showed him driving the sports car with Olivia, taken at sunset by the sea. I smiled and commented, "Wishing you both the best." Then I deleted all of Nicholas' contact information. Julian, who was getting a glass of water, glanced at my phone. "Bad mood. Come on. I'll take you somewhere." Half an hour later, we were on the big bus sunset tour. We admired the dazzling skyscrapers, the bustling streets, and the various landmarks of Hong Kong. I forgot about the earlier unpleasantness and completely let go of Nicholas. As we passed Victoria Harbor, I exclaimed, "It's so beautiful." I turned to see Julian, who had been staring at me for who knows how long. His gaze was intense and captivating. "Ellie, my dear, I am so happy to see you." In my eyes, you were more charming than Victoria Harbor. It was the first time I had heard him speak Cantonese. I blushed and quickly looked away. After the University of Hong Kong started, I packed my bags, planning to move into the dormitory. Julian stood at the door like a big, sad puppy, making excuses. "Ellie, my parents won't be back for a while. I'm so lonely here by myself. Can you stay and keep me company? The dorms are so crowded. You even have to queue for the bathroom." Most importantly, the university doesn't allow cats, but you can keep her here. Mittens, who was nearby, stretched languidly, showing her little pink paws. I thought about it and realized he had a point. Julian, then I'll have to impose on you for a little longer. My pleasure. In the following days, I threw myself into my intensive coursework. While I was looking for materials in the library, my mom called, her voice grave. Ellie. Nicholas dropped out of university. I was stunned. Why? He didn't see you at school after the third year started. And he couldn't contact you. He's been looking for you everywhere like a madman. I told him you had gone to study in Hong Kong. But he didn't believe me until I showed him your exchange student application. I thought that would be the end of it. But the next day he submitted a withdrawal application, saying he was going to the University of Hong Kong to find you. Your aunt is afraid he'll do something rash. So she wants you to call him and talk some sense into him. I understood everything at once. I dialed the number I knew by heart. A familiar voice came through. Ellie, is that you? Wait for me. I'll be in Hong Kong soon. I cut him off. No need. Nicholas, even if you come, we can't be together. I'm calling you at your mother's request. I hope you'll finish your degree and not joke about your future. On the other end, Nicholas was no longer stubborn. His voice choked. Is it really necessary? Ellie, just because of a driver's license, you're going to part ways with me. I admit, I shouldn't have gone on a road trip with Olivia, but that was purely out of spite. I wanted you to come and coax me. And during those days I was out, all I could think about was you. I kept thinking how much better it would be if you were by my side. I couldn't help but find it laughable. So, you don't actually think you're being sentimental, do you? Nicholas, I used to really like you. But after Olivia appeared, you repeatedly challenged my boundaries, trampled on my dignity, and tried to tame and control me. My love for you has been completely exhausted. A relationship is like a game of cards. It may seem like you're holding all the aces, but don't forget, I can always flip the table and walk away. My mission was accomplished. I hung up. Having finished my semester project early, I decided to take the opportunity to get my driver's license. When Julian found out, he volunteered to be my private instructor and even rented a private practice course for me. Everything went smoothly. On the day I got my license, to show my gratitude, I invited him to dinner at a restaurant with a view. As we were eating, my professor, whom I hadn't heard from in a while, forwarded me a message. I opened it. It was a public statement from Nicholas on the campus network. He confessed that in the creative competition several months ago, he had broken the rules by getting a freshman, Olivia, into the competition, rewriting her report, and rigging the gold prize for her. He concluded, the gold prize should go to the one who deserves it. And I am trying to right my wrongs. I laughed. Was he trying to show me how sentimental he was by destroying himself and Olivia? Other students commented below the statement. I thought she was a genius junior. Turns out she just seduced a senior with a girlfriend to get ahead. What genius junior? I do say it's just a cheating scumbag and a shameless hussy. A snake pit. I heard the original gold prize winner, Eleanor, was Nicholas' girlfriend. TSK. TSK. So pitiful. She unwittingly became a part of their sick game. After this fiasco, Olivia's genius girl persona was shattered, and she soon dropped out. I was far away in Hong Kong and had no interest in this gossip. I was petting Mittens and browsing online for a car when Julian sent me a message. Ellie, come down to the parking lot. When I got there, with a beep, the headlights of a brand new McLaren 720s flashed on. Julian opened the door and made a pleased gesture. Ellie, try it out. See if you like it. My heart leaped into my throat. Is this for me? He nodded. Yeah, if you don't like it, I can get you another one. Until you find one you do. It was a beautiful car. Of course. I liked it, but I forced my twitching fingers to stay still and shook my head. I'm sorry, Julian. This is too expensive. I can't accept it. And I have no reason to. Even if my mom and his mom were best friends for decades, we were not related. I couldn't accept a car worth millions. Ellie, the price doesn't matter. I just thought it suited you. His words sent a jolt through me. I can't accept a reward for no reason. I still can't take it. Seeing my insistence, he smiled helplessly. What if I said it was a confession gift? My face burned. Julian was confessing to me. The next second, He opened the trunk, revealing a bouquet of vibrant red roses. Looking at his affectionate gaze, my heart pounded. As I was trying to figure out what to say, a man's angry voice came from behind. Eleanor, you refused to go on a road trip with me just so you could accept a sports car from this show-off. I turned to see. To my surprise, Nicholas. My mom told me that he had threatened to kill himself, and she had no choice but to give him my address. He had lost a lot of weight in the few months we hadn't seen each other. He was unshaven, with dark circles under his eyes, and his clothes were wrinkled. Julian leaned against the car and tilted his head, asking me, "Who's this?" "A friend of yours. Having an ex you're not proud of is like having a criminal record." I turned away and distanced myself from Nicholas. "Not really. We just went to the same university for a while." I said it deliberately for him to hear, but he acted as if he hadn't. Walking toward me. "Ellie, you'd rather take mittens with you than talk to me. In your heart, am I less important than a cat?" I rolled my eyes at him. "You're not that cute," he continued. "I didn't come here to fight with you. I have a gift for you." The next second, he opened his backpack and took out the gold trophy from the creative competition that should have been mine. "Ellie, I really know I was wrong. Will you come back with me? I've completely cut ties with Olivia, and I've gotten the trophy back for you. From now on, not only is the trophy yours, but I'm yours too. Even my passenger seat will only be for you." In the quiet parking lot, I burst out laughing. Nicholas, for me, past awards and expired love are just trash. I'm not a garbage collector. So, I don't want you or the trophy. I took the trophy and threw it at him, but he wouldn't give up, grabbing my shoulders and shaking me. "Eleanor, we were together for over a decade. You can't just throw it all away. I've alienated everyone for you. Dropped out of university to come to Hong Kong to find you. You can't be so cruel to me. Without you, I really can't go on." As I was getting dizzy from his shaking, Julian suddenly stepped forward and landed a solid punch on his face. "If you can't go on, then just go and die." Nicholas fell to the ground like a rag doll. I couldn't be bothered with him and got in the car with Julian. But Nicholas was still persistent. He stumbled up from the ground, wiping the blood from his nose. He stood about 50 yards from the car, closed his eyes, and spread his arms. "Eleanor, I won't give up on you. If you insist on leaving today, then you'll have to run me over." In my 20-something years, there was nothing I hated more than being guilt-tripped. So the next second, I slammed on the gas and shot forward. The sports car let out a piercing screech in the parking lot. Just as the front of the car was about 20 centimeters from him, I slammed on the brakes and stopped. Nicholas was no longer playing the sentimental act. He was so scared he was a mess, unable to even speak. After composing himself, he lay on the ground and roared at me. "Eleanor, are you crazy? You actually went for it." I rolled down the window and looked down at him. "Nicholas, I'm just warning you. Don't bother me again. We are completely over." With that, I stepped on the gas and drove out of the parking lot. Once we were on the surface, I asked Julian, "Weren't you scared just now? If I had really run him over, you would have been involved too." He was casually dealing with work on his phone, as if the thrilling scene in the parking lot was just a trivial game. "Because I knew you wouldn't do it. You just wanted to scare him, to make him back off." In that moment, we both smiled in tacit understanding. Back at the villa, I couldn't help but ask, "Julian, were you serious about confessing to me today?" "Of course. But we've only known each other for a few months. Isn't it a bit too fast?" He took my hand and gently kissed the back of it. "But I've known you for a very, very long time." Seeing my blank expression, he continued, "My mom has a heart condition. One night when I was 10, she had an attack. There was no one else at home, so I had to run out to find a doctor. But it started pouring rain, and I got lost. That's when I ran into you, taking out the trash. You acted like a little adult, holding an umbrella for me, and even called your mom to help call an ambulance. On the way to the hospital, you kept telling me not to be afraid. It wasn't until we got there that I realized that while you were shielding me, you had gotten soaked yourself. Luckily, my mom got to the hospital in time and was fine. For the 2 weeks she was there, your mom brought you to visit every day. You even danced for her to cheer her up. Eleanor, on that helpless and painful night, you and your mom saved me. It finally dawned on me. So that pinned post on your Instagram, it was about me." He held me in his arms. "It's always been you. I felt a little sad and said in a muffled voice, "Why didn't you say so earlier? Back then, you only had eyes for that Vance boy. You wouldn't have even seen me. I've been following your social media all these years, but I never dared to bother you. When I missed you, I would just throw myself into my fast-paced, high-intensity work. The less free time I had, the less I would think of you. Later, I didn't even dare to ask about you. I was afraid someone would tell me you were married. But late at night, my mind would be filled with you. Luckily, 6 months ago, your mom said you were thinking of studying in Hong Kong. I was almost ecstatic. I told myself, this time, I would never let you go. It was only then that Julian, and his secret love, finally came to light. And I finally understood why he was able to recognize me at the airport at a glance. After we were officially together, I discovered how cunning he was. He had canceled a bunch of meetings to pick me up from the airport, but said it was on the way. He had bought the villa specifically for my convenience to attend university, but said he was scared of living alone so I wouldn't feel burdened. To avoid his parents disturbing us, he had booked them a 6-month trip abroad. He had spent 3 months meticulously decorating the room, but said it was not tidied up. It turns out that for some people, love is not about what they say, but what they do. 2 years later, I graduated from university. To celebrate my entry into the workforce, Julian set off a fireworks display for me at Victoria Harbor. Under the magnificent fireworks, he held my hand and gently kissed the tip of my nose. "Ellie, my dear, I like you so much." With a bang, another firework exploded in the sky. He knelt on one knee and took a self-designed diamond ring from his pocket. "My dear, when will you marry me?" I smiled and held out my middle finger. "I'm free right now.